Well,
I love that shirt.
You love this shirt? Thank you. Thank you, Eli. Okay, I did. I'm taking these off. Here we go. Hey everyone, happy Sunday. It's Catherine and oh, Elijah wants to say hi. Hi, Benedict.
Well, this is a sponsor.
What's going on? Why are you showing everybody cookies?
Well, because this is a sponsor. Duh.
It's not sponsored. Good morning, Vias.
Anyways, I don't have a sponsor for today, but I have a verse.
Oh, a Bible verse. Let's hear it.
So Jesus has compassion and tests the wise.
Jesus has compassion and he tests the wise?
No, tests the eyes.
Oh, Jesus had compassion on them and touched their eyes. That's true. So he ran into some blind people and he had compassion for them and he healed them?
Apple juice.
Yes, that's apple juice. That's true. Hi, Guns. Hi, Frank. Hi, is it Arav? Arav? Good to see you. Thank you for sharing that verse with us. Jesus does have compassion on us.
Yeah, I'm a kind of a dad, okay?
You're what?
I'm a little kind of a dad.
Oh, you're going to go cuddle with Dad? Okay.
Bye, Mom.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. Go cuddle with Dad and shut the door. Good morning. Thank you all for being here. Yes, somebody just asked, are you wearing a Dhar Mann shirt? My first time wearing this one. So you see? Yes, I am. I got Timmy a red one for Christmas. Oh, thank you. Let's see. I love the video of you and Timothy and Eli racing. Yes, he's kind of a bit of a sore loser, and he does not like being told what to do. Hey.
Don't call me that.
Oh, he got mad and said, don't call me that. That just means you get mad when you lose.
It makes sad noise.
And he said it makes sad noises. Hey, Brittany. So yeah, he is so much like my husband in the area of he does not like being told what to do. Like, I went for a walk with Eli yesterday and he's got a new like razor scooter and he doesn't really know how to do it, and I keep trying to show him. I'm like, here, let me show you how to. He's pulling it away. No, I'm gonna show you. I'm like, but you don't know how to ride it yet. No, Mommy, I'm gonna show you how to ride it. And then a couple times he would be on for like a second, fall off, be on for a second, fall off, be on for a second, fall off. I'm like, Eli, can I please just show you how to use your scooter? And he was like, I am gonna show you, Mom. I have been riding this scooter for years, so let me show you. I was like, excuse me, you got it like 2 days ago and you keep falling off, but you're gonna show me?
No.
What? You want to tell your side of the story? Come here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Daddy showed me.
So you're saying that Daddy showed you how to ride it, so...
Yeah, you put the lift.
How do you ride the scooter? Is that what you do? Hi, Elena. Hi, Christina. It's supposed to do that, but you have to be able to stay on it upright in order for that to happen.
No.
Yeah. I love all the videos when you're a good person because you're good in real life. Yeah. I try to be. Sometimes I mess up. Sometimes I fall short. Sometimes I take the devil's bait and act like I don't want to. And then I end up having to repent to God. You want to steal my apple juice? You can't steal my apple juice? Hi, Molly. Hi, Nicola. Okay, I'm not sure what video you're talking about, Nicola, because I did not see it. Hey, Lucas. Hey, chocolate cake. Okay. Yeah, so he's a sore. L-O-S-E-R. Eli. Yeah, you know I'm talking about you, but I'm not going to say the word because he'll get mad. But, you know, he's very strong-willed. And I think that's going to be a really good thing when he grows up. and I think he's going to be a leader for sure. Like, he's always bossing Timothy around. Like, he's 4, Timothy's 15, and Eli's in there this morning. I can hear them talking, and Eli's like, Timmy, do this and do that, and Timmy's like, okay, Eli,
I
okay.
think Eli was talking about going back to your computer.
Okay, but
Yeah.
he's like bossing you around, and he's 4, and you're 15, and you're just,
I know.
Timmy's just compliant. He's like,
I
okay.
mean, my new boss now.
He's like totally Boss Baby. Have you ever seen that show, Boss Baby?
Yeah.
And Eli's like Boss Baby. And the funny thing is, on that cartoon, the older boy character, actually his name is Timothy. So, okay, let me peek through some of your comments here. Hey Olivia. Derek, thank you for the gift. Let me hold on. I have to sneeze. Woo! Woo! Oh my goodness. Okay. It's always an interesting morning around here. Let me read your question, Derek. When will the book that you and your father wrote be out? Plus, when the book comes out, can I meet with you for coffee and have you sign a copy of your book? I don't know when it'll be out yet. I was aiming to get it out the 30th, but my editor is not able to work that fast. So I had somebody edit it, and then another person do the proofreading, and the person doing the proofreading is also formatting it. There's a lot of formatting stuff going on. Plus, last minute, I decided to add a bunch of pictures from my dad's life and his childhood. So I thought that people would like to see like the real pictures of some of the real people and period pictures from that time. So that's taking a while to get them all scanned in and resize them for the book. So it's not going to come out the 30th now. I'm hoping, what I'm praying for is that maybe February 8th. Hey, don't make that noise. Maybe February 8th, which I think is a Wednesday. That's what I'm going to aim for. So I would love if you guys picked up a copy. I'm going to do what I did last with my Kindle book. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on in Kindle. I'm going to mark it down to 99 cents for one day only and have you guys download the Kindle version. Now, you do not have to have a Kindle. You don't need to own a Kindle. You just go to the Amazon store, you click on it. I'll mark it down to 99 cents. And what it will do is you can choose, do you want it to go to your phone, or do you want it, because you can just read it on your phone, or you can read it on your computer. It can get delivered to your phone or your computer. If you want, like what I have, I was going to show you on my phone, but I'm using my phone. I have downloaded the Kindle Reader onto my phone. It's an app. Go to the App Store, you download Kindle Reader, and then you can read all your Kindle books on your phone. That's what I do. So I'll give you more details when that actually happens. Questions. I'm looking to see what you guys are saying. Christina says, I have a question. I want to move with my boyfriend into the USA. What's a great state to live in? You know, I won't be able to answer that question because I've only lived in 2 states. So it depends on what you're going for, depends on what you're trying to do, depends on what industry you want to be a part of. Obviously, California and New York are the 2 most expensive places you could live. You might want to avoid those unless you're trying to be in theater or modeling, then you might want to be in New York. Or if you're trying to be on TV and film, then you might want to be in LA. An alternative fallback, if you're wanting to be in the industry, is Atlanta, Georgia. They have a booming film and TV industry. However, if you're trying to be a star, you don't want to go there. You could get small little roles if you go there, because a lot of productions, you know, you're making a lot of noise with that wrapping paper. Oh, you gave me a present? Thank you. A lot of places go there to shoot because it's cheaper and they get tax deductions to shoot. There's several states that offer filmmakers a big tax deduction for shooting there. So that's why a lot of people shoot there. However, they already have the film cast. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. they already have the films cast with the big leads and stars before they go to Atlanta. So if you live there and you're an actor, you'll get the smaller roles, the under 5 roles, the supporting roles. So I don't even know if that's what you want to do, but I would suggest you go on Google and, you know, yes, Jarrell, I got my hair colored darker. This is like my natural color, which is a dark blonde. My hair's not as light as I normally wear it. I actually like it better darker. Less upkeep. I won't have the dark blonde roots growing out of the light blonde hair. Anyway, enough about that. Hey, Eli, if you're gonna talk, can you please go in your bedroom and talk to Timmy? So that's a project we worked on yesterday. We were working on using the scissors. Okay, you can't be so loud in here when I'm trying to do my live stream. Otherwise, I gotta kick your little butt out of here. Okay. All right, so let me see your comments. I would just suggest Googling it. There's a lot of videos on YouTube on the best places to live in the U.S. So I would just do that. You guys, do not eat all those cookies.
I'm trying to put them back in the kitchen.
Okay. I don't want that. I do not want to eat a cookie right now. Why don't you pour you and your brother a glass of juice, please?
Bye, Mom.
Bye. Okay. Let me see what I missed. Hi, Hamad. Jesse, you can't climb a mountain in one day. You can climb it daily. Yep, big goals. Big goals aren't reached in a day. Why Tram Simp? This is a good question. He's asking, any tips on how you can control your anger issues? I feel like a lot of issues we have in life is because we haven't come to terms with something within us. So you have to start asking yourself, even before you're mad, start asking, what makes me mad? What makes me get angry? And just start writing down whatever comes to mind. Write down everything. Just throw up on the page and say, this makes me mad, this makes me mad. And then keep asking yourself questions. Well, why does this make me mad? Okay, so let's, just for example, I get mad when somebody cuts me off in traffic. Well, why? Why do you get mad if someone cuts you off in traffic? Because they're what would be an excuse? They're disrespectful of my car. They might scratch my car. Okay, ask yourself another question about that. Well, why are you worried that your car's gonna get scratched? Well, if my car gets scratched, then it's not gonna look perfect. What do you care if your car looks perfect for? You know, this is a really helpful train of thought you can do on any topic. It's like the 7 layers deep. I know I've talked about going 7 layers deep before. So what do you care if your car doesn't look perfect? Well, then it's going to reflect on me. Then people might not respect me because they're going to say, oh, you're in a junky car. Well, what do you care? What do you care if people show you respect? Well, people need to treat me a certain way. And so you get mad that people aren't showing you the respect you need. Well, why? Well, because my dad, he used to get really upset if we weren't shown respect.
Hey guys.
You know?
Mommy, can you?
So it's this whole 7 layers deep. You got to keep peeling down the layers. Can you just hold a sec?
Mom, this is very important. Okay, so the reason why I can't do sponsors today is, well, I might have ideas. Literally might have ideas.
Don't spit on my camera.
Oops. Maybe I do have an idea. I'll be right back.
So, is there something in your past that's linked to somebody not respecting you? Does it make you feel like you're not good, that you're not worthy? And what happens if you don't feel worthy? You can do this with any topic. If something is triggering you, whether it's bringing you frustration. Good morning, Orly. Hi, Pete. Whether it's something that's bringing you sadness or depression, peel back the layers and keep asking yourself, Why does this make me sad? Why does this make me depressed? I mean, like, you could do it with, like, I remember getting so angry one time. So angry one time. I was at my son's school. I was really mad about something.
I want to go.
I just keep getting interrupted. I just want to add value to you guys. And
Today's sponsor is. By the way, Mommy gave me this idea.
okay.
Some-made raisins. Wait. Wait, what? Some-made raisins.
Okay.
They're
all
good.
Right. They're good. That's about the healthiest snack you've ever shown. Good for you.
Yeah, not sponsored, by the way.
Not.
I mean,
Not sponsored.
if somebody.
But if somebody is watching and you want to send us a lifetime supply of raisins, we wouldn't turn it down.
Of some-made. Yes.
Okay.
And now Eli's next in line.
He already showed those cookies.
Eli, you always own those cookies.
Okay.
Sponsored. We buy cookies.
All right. So these are kind of like Oreos, but slightly healthier because they don't have like artificial stuff in like regular. Okay, you guys can both go in the living room. Timmy, why don't you put something on for you and Eli to watch?
Well, Eli.
And just make sure the volume is not too loud. Don't want to wake up Dad. Okay. All right. So is that helpful to you guys? Can you guys, no matter what starts to trigger you, whatever issues you're going through, can you see how it would be helpful to start asking yourself some questions? Because sometimes when you peel back layer after layer and asking, well, why does that matter? Well, why does that matter? What it can do is it can leave you with revealing some emotional trauma that you haven't dealt with from the past. And you can work on healing that area. And then when you work on healing that area, that stuff no longer triggers you. That stuff no longer upsets you. And you don't want to have your emotions running your life. See, emotions are a great servant, but they're not a great leader. Does that make sense? Okay, so what that means for you is you can control how you want your life to go. You can control your reactions instead of letting something trigger you and set you off. Those who do not have great emotional intelligence are doomed to be a slave to their emotions. And you don't want to be a slave to your emotions. Arav asks, when a friend betrays you, how can you avoid sadness? Well, first of all, it's not that you're trying to avoid sadness, it's that you don't want the sadness to ruin your life or to run your life. You don't want to stay stuck in that place. So you can feel the feelings, but then you've got to work through the feelings. You can't stay in the feelings. So I've told you guys many times about a friend that didn't want to be my friend anymore, and I cried for like 4 or 5 days straight. I was so upset because she got mad at me about something, and it was a big misunderstanding, and she refused to even hear my side of the story. Just accused me of all this stuff, and I wanted to explain to her and like be like, that's not, you're totally misreading that situation. And she didn't want to hear it. And part of the sadness was I had like, I was trying to help her so much, and I got her first paid acting role, and I really wanted to like mentor her and take her under my wings and help her with her career, and I was helping her with all this stuff, and she, you know, just one thing, whatever she saw made her think something, whatever, but she didn't even want to talk through it with me. It was just cut off, done, I'm done with you, whatever, which, you know, is also very immature, right? It's also very immature to not even want to hear the other person's side of the story. So you can feel the sadness, and it's okay to be sad for a short period of time, but what's not okay is to replay the sad situation over and over and over and make it drag you down and keep you there. You know, maybe somebody says something to you and it's really upsetting to you. honestly, if you keep getting pulled into the sadness from whatever happened, I would start asking myself the 7 layers deep question. Why did that hurt so much that that person said that to me? Well, because they're supposed to be my best friend. Well, would you have reacted that way if somebody else said that question? You know, just starting to ask yourself lots of questions. It's gonna, let me tell you guys, when you start doing this 7 layers deep and you start asking question upon question to yourself, you're gonna get some big epiphanies you never had before. And it's gonna be, really, it's gonna give you a breakthrough. Yes, and Pete, you're right. Forgiveness, I don't know what you're referencing to somebody, but forgiveness is huge. And, you know, you want to forgive people because you want to be forgiven, right? So we are not perfect. We have hurt people. We have messed up. We have said things we regret. We have done things we regret. So you want people to show you grace in the same way you can show somebody else grace. You can't be mad at someone for hurting you when you hurt people. You know, you may say, well, but they hurt me first, or it's payback, or I didn't mean to. Well, you know, who knows? Maybe they didn't mean to either. Maybe, you know, you just don't know. And I feel like if we had more grace and compassion, we wouldn't be so judgmental. We wouldn't, you know. Marcus is saying, did you make up with a friend? No, I would have loved to, but she wouldn't even talk to me. She wouldn't even hear my side of the story. She wouldn't even explain to me all the reasons she was upset with me. Which I don't want to get into all of that drama right now. But Clover Cow asks, what is your favorite part of being a life coach and least favorite part? And are you protective of your clients? My aunt is a life coach and her clients are big on her heart. And she's so kind like you. Oh, thank you. Yes, I do think I'm protective for sure. I had somebody hurt the feelings of one of my coaching clients, and I was really mad at this person. Like, I couldn't even like stand to be around him, and I would see him at parties, and I was just so mad that he hurt my client. And I was like, I'm not gonna invite him to parties anymore. And then after like a month or 2, maybe 3, God was like, what is it you're telling people about forgiveness? I had to forgive him. I'm still not thrilled. Still not thrilled to be around him, but I see him sometimes. So yeah, I gotta take a little of my own advice. And you know what? Here's the crazy thing. I feel like I'm more protective of others than I even am of myself. Like, I feel like I have an easier time forgiving people who hurt me than I do forgiving people who hurt people I care about. Does that make sense? Okay, what do I love most about being a life coach? You know, I've been through a lot. I've been as far as like an emotional journey in my life and overcoming obstacles keeping me from my goals. So I feel like I have a lot of wisdom to share, and you know, beyond, as they say, wisdom beyond your years. Like, I feel like I've done so much self-searching, soul-searching, God time that sometimes I think I can see things from a more holistic perspective than even someone 10 or 15 years younger or older than me. So I love being able to help people like break through to be able to see things from a different perspective. Because, okay, I gotta get these kids to be quiet. Hey, you guys. Dad is sleeping. Hey, you guys are making way too much noise. Dad is sleeping. Okay, shh.
TV's gonna trap me.
Okay, no yelling when Dad is sleeping. Hey, quiet. Hello. I'm trying to get them not to wake up Dad. Anyway, so I love, you know, I love being a problem solver, and you know, being able to see like pieces that maybe, have you tried this? Could you do this? You know, it's something that I wish that I had more of in my life growing up when I was going. They are like slamming cupboard doors, yelling. I don't know. See, kids, this is a lesson for you. This is why you put the cookies way up high where no one can reach them, so your kids do not eat cookies in the morning without you knowing it and then turn into little monsters. Okay. Least favorite thing. I don't know. You know what? I would have to think about that more. I don't know how to answer that right now. Okay, I'm going to scroll back and see. Oh, thank you for the gift, Nicola. I appreciate you. Let's see. Oh, you guys are very talkative today. I like it. You guys are asking me a lot. Thank you, Annadette, for your gift. I appreciate you. Okay. All right. If I missed your question, Jennifer says your son looks just like you. Thank you. Do you think the big one or the little one looks like me? Oh, Elena, it's cold. I know it's always in the wintertime. You got a cold going around. Let's see. Thank you, Pizzas. Thank you for your inspiring videos. Derek's saying lock the door so the kids don't interrupt you. What you don't understand about kids is if you lock your door, they will stand outside the door and pound on it so loud that it would be worse than if they were able to come in and the door was unlocked. How do I know? I've tried many times to lock them out. Like if I'm being interviewed on a podcast or something, you tell them not to come in, but you can't lock the door because the moment they can't get in, they panic and start pounding and pounding and pounding and pounding. Yeah, sometimes when you're an adult, you forget what it's like to be a kid. Everything is so important. Everything needs to be answered right now. Hey, Donald, good to see you. Nicholas saying, taking deep breaths whenever you feel angry. Actually, that is, I'm going to teach you guys something. Okay, so I am friends with a breath coach, and I want to have her on here and interview her eventually. We've been taught wrong. Taking deep breaths is actually the wrong thing to do and will not help you calm down. What it does, when you take deep breaths, when you take air in, it actually speeds up your heart rate. Do you know what lowers it? Makes you calmer? Lower is blowing out. Deep breaths speed up your heart rate, makes you more anxious, more mad, more of whatever. It speeds up your heart rate. It's the exhale that calms you down and steadies you. So I was trying to teach this to Eli yesterday when he was mad and upset and crying. I was trying to have him blow out the candles. Blow out the candles. I was like, blow on my face, blow on my face. Try to make my eyelashes move. When you guys get mad or frustrated or whatever, you don't want your heart rate to go faster because that'll make more anxiety, more of what you're trying to do. But yeah, blow out, exhale. Next time, try it. Next time, instead of taking big breaths, exhale big breaths. Try to exhale all the air in your lungs. Okay, Marcus is asking, why haven't you been on Dhar Mann's new podcast talking about your philosophies? You know, I feel like he's maybe only interviewing famous people. I don't think I'm considered famous. And then, you know what? I feel like it would be one of those things where if he interviewed one of us actors, then the other actors would feel like they need to be interviewed. I don't know. I feel like I'm just speculating. I don't know. I'm not in Dhar's head. I don't know what he's thinking. But he's probably trying to, you know, get people with bigger, I don't know, bigger followings, bigger fame. That would be my guess. Yeah. I have a question. Best moment with your family. Oh my gosh. You know, there's so many. We're going to go make some memories today too when we go hiking. I don't know if I can narrow it down to one. Pete says, I made a video on my channel about forgiveness. It was such a difficult time for me. I say through sadness is forgiveness. What do you think? Through sadness is forgiveness. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I'd have to think that through more. We don't always want to forgive people, but we have to. We have to, and not even just for their sake, for our sake. Harrison says, oh my goodness, that's so terrible. Well, you can help a person, but if they're not willing to take baby steps, then that's their issue. Okay, that whatever you just said, Harrison, triggered me to know how to answer the question. Somebody else asked me about the worst part of being a life coach. You're wondering what it is when you can see the answers and you're trying to lead your client to the answers and they don't want to do the work, or they don't want to do the steps, or all they want to do is complain about the situation instead of trying to fix it. And then I had one client that I had to say, I'm not talking to you anymore because you're not actually willing to fix your life. You're not actually willing to take the steps, you know? I don't want to talk to people who aren't willing to put in the work, right? It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of their time. I'm about, wanting people to get results, whether that's a physical goal or to be in a place mentally and emotionally where they can be happier and function better in the world. I'm not interested in being on a merry-go-round and 6 months later it's like the same thing, so I want to see that people are taking strides in the right direction and doing what feels good for them. Oh, Angela, hey, popped on. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate you. Let's see. How much has Dhar Mann's content changed in almost 5 years? Highs and lows. I feel like the message hasn't changed much, but I feel like the production quality has changed. I feel like the scripts have gotten better. It looks better. It sounds better. It's more filmic. Nicola asks, would you get Dhar involved in the 3 Qs with Kat? It'd be great. I usually never see him there. He's like, I feel like he's only there in passing, or he's with a group of people, or he's giving people a tour of the studio, or he's always in the middle of doing something. He might be there for a second, you might be able to take a picture with him, but like to be like, can I interview you for my YouTube channel? Let me get out my tripod and there's never been an ideal situation for that. I remember one time he came and talked to me, but I wasn't doing the 3 Qs. I didn't even have the idea to do the 3 Qs with Kat at the time. So I think I had one opportunity where I could have done it if I had known, but it was before I even thought of the show. So I have not had the opportunity. Okay, let's see. Arav says, you're a great mom. Timmy's lucky. You're the best mom ever. Thank you. All right. Clover's asking, we know a lot about you, but can you describe your moderator so we can get to know them? Are they nice? Well, I wouldn't have anyone be a moderator if they weren't nice. Now, if they want to say something about themselves, they can go ahead and say something about themselves. I will let them say as much or as little as they want to say. All right. Let's see. else are you guys asking me? Catherine, Christine is asking, what would happen when I'm avoiding sadness, fear, disgust, and anger? Our emotions are in our brain. They are controlling us. They are like figures. Well, you have to be in control of your emotions. You have to let your spirit, the Spirit of God, be in control of your emotions. Oh, bye, Angela. She's got to leave. Let your spirit be in control. So I'm going to teach you guys about this in my advanced course, the You Are Worthy Level 2. There's 3 parts to us as human beings. We're not just body and soul like a lot of people think. We are body, and we're soul, and we're spirit. So your spirit is neutral. You know, it's, what do I mean by that? The spirit is always good. The flesh is always going to tend to be bad. That's fleshly desires. You know, we're born into sin through Adam and Eve, right? But your soul is something your spirit needs to get control of. And there is like a tug of war battle going on between your flesh and your spirit. So the spirit wants you to forgive. The spirit the spirit wants you to forgive, to be kind, to be loving, to be gentle. The flesh wants to be right. It wants its own way. It wants you to hold a grudge against that person. Your flesh wants you to eat cookies for breakfast instead of a smoothie. Your flesh wants its own way. It wants to be satisfied. It wants to be lazy, sleep in, not do your work. Your flesh wants to gossip, you know. So it's like the angel on one side, the devil on the other. Your soul is in between. And it's like the neutral battleground. Your soul consists of your mind, your will, your emotions. When you let your spirit control your soul, things go good. When you let your flesh or the devil control your spirit, things go bad. The devil be here saying, you don't need to forgive them. They did you wrong and they need to pay. Right? You got the spirit saying, you know what? They messed up. We all mess up. Forgive them as God has forgiven you. So it's this battle, this tug of war. When you let your emotions take over, they are being pulled in the direction, the flesh direction, the bad direction. Stay stuck in this sadness. Stay stuck in this depression. You don't understand what happened to me. And your spirit's like, forgive him. Let it go. That was 20 years ago. Drop that burden. Why are you still carrying that around? That's not helpful to you. That's hurting you. That's keeping you from where you want to go in life. Is that helpful? I'll go more in depth into that in the You Are Worthy Advanced course, which I'm going to turn into a book for you guys probably next year. It'll be the follow-up book to the You Are Worthy book. You Are Worthy. This book is coming out this year. The follow-up book will have, now that you know you're worthy, it'll have like the tips and tools like to live it out in your life. It's called So I'm Worthy, Now What? That's what I'm going to call the second book. So then you'll have like the step-by-step teaching of how to live it out, how to walk it out. What do I do? What do I say when someone wants to use me as a doormat? How do I respond when people want, it's going to have a lot of walking it out in the natural. If that makes sense. Okay. Boy, you guys are just so talkative with these questions today. I haven't even got to talk about the topic. of this live stream yet. Oh, it's okay, Harrison. I think it's good. It's good. VS is asking, did you see the recent Dhar Mann episode of Colin Rachel's? I haven't seen all of it yet. I got to watch part of it and then I got interrupted by something. Martin, I don't know if Brianna was fired. I haven't been told, so I would have no idea if she was or not. Orly says, you are a great coach. Thank you, Orly. Let's see. Okay, so let me, Brittany is talking, so Brittany is telling you about herself, because you guys asked, can we know more about your moderators? So check out her responses. Okay, so the lesson for today, the topic for today that I want to talk about is your goal your goal? So how many of you have had goals in life and you get persuaded to follow some other goal? Someone says to you, no, yeah, I see you want to do that, but you know what? This would be much better for you. This is going to be easier. You already have an in here. You know, this, you can make more money doing this. This would be, how many of you guys have ever been kind of steered away from your goals by somebody else and they've kind of replaced their goals and in your mind, in your head, and you're like, well, okay, I kind of see where they're going with that. I kind of see why they think that would be better. Maybe I should do that instead of what I think I want to do. And it could be sometimes someone is steering you in the right direction for the right reasons. But there's been times, I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys, you can let me know, where someone has tried to talk you out of your goals. Has that ever happened to anyone else besides me? Someone has said, you know, this isn't going to work for you. This is all bad. She's, you know, this is going to work better for you. So, okay, I'm like beating around the bush. So I've had many goals in life, and I've had mentors and people who have talked me out of my goals, said, that's not going to work for you. That's kind of why I'm like in front of my goal poster. This is my goal poster for this year. So if you didn't see my video on Friday, I'm putting out an acting, I'm putting out an acting course called Acting and Having Fun. I'm going to put out my You Are Worthy book. I'm praying to get funding to make a music video for it. I'm going to put out a book called The Divine Solution. And if I don't, I have a plan B, which is going to be a poetry book. I've got a couple I'm working on, a Hollywood book and one about sadness and depression. I've also got a goal to record my audiobook, as well as a goal to get back down to my pre-COVID size so I can fit into my clothes. And then, these aren't goals I'm working towards. I'm doing an experiment to see if I just start thinking about it and speaking in the positive and thanking God that I have it, that I will get 25,000 subscribers at least on my YouTube channel by the end of this year, and have my first viral video that has 100,000 people watch it. So those are the goals, and I put them up here because I'm talking about goals today. Have you ever had a goal and somebody talked you out of it? And I want you to ask yourself and be really serious, are the goals that you're going for actually even your goals? Or are they someone else's goals? Are they goals that aren't really your idea? Or maybe that you're not that excited about because maybe it's somebody else's goal for you and it's not really your goal. Have you guys ever had that happen to you? You can put yes in the chat if you want to. Elena says, my goal is all mine this year. I can't wait for October when it happens. Thank goodness. And I feel like this is the first time maybe in my life that my goals have been my goals, where they haven't been, I don't want to say tainted by someone else, because some people mean well. But they try to steer you in a direction because, You know, sometimes people don't want you to get hurt, or example, how many people say to their parents, I want to become a rock star, a musician, and their parents are like, that is such a fat chance of that ever happening. You better go to school to become a lawyer instead. Or they want you to be a doctor and a lawyer. And you're going there and you're like, oh, this is like pulling my eyelashes out. This is so Derek's saying yes, I know Derek has had people tell him, you can't have that goal. But you know, other people, even though they mean well, they don't always know what is best for you. BS is saying yes, kind of. The thing is, if you've got something burning in your heart, you've got a real passion and desire to do something, and you feel like God has called you to do it. Here's a news flash. When God called you, it wasn't a conference call. What does that mean? It means God didn't tell everybody around you, your friends, your family, your spouse, He didn't tell them what He's called you to do. So some people might not believe you. Some people might talk you out of it. Some people might say, no, this is the way to go. That's not going to work. That's not going to be helpful for you. This is what you need to do instead. But if you know that you know that you know that you have this desire burning inside you and that you're supposed to do it, you can't listen to the people who didn't get the memo. You can't listen to the people that were not on that call when God called you to do something. You have to move forward. And sometimes you'll have people say to you, well, if you do that, then I'm out of here. Brittany's saying, I didn't feel pressure from my parents, but I felt pressured from society and the school systems. I don't think you knew this, Kat, but I went to college a bit to be a dental assistant. Yuck, not my dream. I did not know that. Yeah, we're trying to fit into this box, the society standard, and society says you go to high school, and then you go to college, and then you get a job, and you do this. Sometimes it has nothing to do with what God created us for, right? Oh, Gregory, no, I didn't come up with that. When God called you, it wasn't a conference call. I heard some preacher say it once. I don't even remember who. But it's so true, and I love that saying, because there's times in our life where we feel like we almost have to like say no. And this happened to me when I was putting together the You Are Worthy course. I felt like God said, put this course together to help people stop sabotaging their dreams and helping build someone else's dreams so that they can walk in their purpose and live their calling with confidence. And I shared it with someone, a mentor of mine who was very dear to me, and he just sat there and told me all the reasons why it wasn't going to work. That's not going to work. That doesn't even sound like a course. That's not a real, like, where's the curriculum? Where's the synopsis? Where's the homework? You got to back it up with data. And I'm like, and then I didn't do it. And then I waited like 1 year, 2 years. And I kept feeling like God said, put this course out to help people get over their self-worth issues. They're worthy to put it out there. And then I just started working on it, and I maybe kind of started working on it secretly. Like, oh, I'm just going to work on this when I'm not around this mentor of mine. And then finally I was like, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm working on this thing. And then he's like, oh, let me help you with that. And then he started giving me ideas, and we could shoot this. He kind of got pulled into it. And one of the really interesting things was when I was almost done filming it, he said to me, Catherine, I think this is going to go down in history as the best thing you have ever done. And he said that to me, and I'm like kicking myself because I didn't start it a year or two sooner, because he was telling me all the reasons it wouldn't work. So that's really interesting, because sometimes even your mentors, even the people you look up to, they don't have the vision. Yes, Gregory, I absolutely forgave him. They don't have the vision you have because, like I said, It wasn't a conference call when God called you. So you may have to do something and people aren't going to get it. God's saying, do this thing, create this art. Do you know, like, some of the most odd things that people have become famous for? There's one guy I saw on the internet who's very popular. I'm sure he must have YouTube channel, Instagram, I don't know. He got popular from and making art, like really beautiful art, on the back of dusty vehicles that needed to be washed. You know, when you drive by a really dirty vehicle and sometimes people write "wash me" on it, he will go on the back of someone's dusty, dirty vehicle and make just beautiful artwork on the back. Now, can you imagine trying to tell your parents or your spouse that you just want to, like, go up to random people's dirty vehicles and film yourself making art? I mean, it sounds crazy, right? But sometimes God gives us this dream and it's going to sound totally crazy to others. But it's for a reason and it's for a purpose, and people might not understand. But you have to go do that thing in your heart. Or he says, not everyone is meant to go to college to accomplish their dreams. Sometimes you could accomplish your goals and dreams because of a certain intuition you have. Exactly. I used to feel bad about myself for a long time because I never went to college. And now, where I'm at now, I'm like, thank God I did not go to college. Thank God I didn't let them dull my intuition, dull me, hearing from God about what I should do, or I didn't let them indoctrinate me. And for what I'm doing, you don't really need college, right? So, I mean, I guess you can go get a master's in fine arts and acting and all of that, but I feel like my purpose and my calling is so much bigger than just the acting that I do. I feel like that's part of it. It's certainly a vehicle that got me where I'm at, but it's not the end all be all, right? I'm not just an actor, right? I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a coach, I try to help a lot of people, and yeah, I'm not going to get into all that stuff, but really it's sometimes Pete says we are definitely born with a purpose. Absolutely. And if you guys read the Old Testament, if you read the Old Testament in the Bible, you will see in the book of Jeremiah where God is talking to Jeremiah and he's telling him, I knew you. I knew you before you were in your mother's womb. And I had this plan for you and this purpose for your life. So God is speaking to the spirit inside Jeremiah. He wasn't speaking to Jeremiah, the person, the flesh person. You guys may be in circumstances right now that look bad. You may be going through a tough time. You may be struggling. You may be down. You may be depressed. You may be in a situation, exactly, Pete, Jeremiah 29:11, where it looks impossible in the natural. And it's looking like nothing is ever going to work out for you. Yes, Marcus, if my kids don't want to go to college, that's fine with me. I'm going to try to steer them in the direction they want to go that will produce the most amount of success for them, and I'll help them through it, but I'm not going to force them to do something they don't want to do, because we all have this deep knowing inside of us, and we let people talk us out of it, and we try to shift them into things they don't want to do, right? Like Brittany becoming a dental assistant. That wasn't her vibe. So we've got this spirit inside us that we knew, that God knew before your parents met, before your parents even met each other. You were a speaking spirit. You were with God. And then when it was your time, he dropped you into your mother's womb. He had it all work out for you to come at this appointed time, at this appointed place. God determined before the foundations of the earth if you would be a man or a woman, if you would have freckles or the shade of your skin. He put you in the location that you needed to be put in to go through whatever you needed to go through to build up the strength to become whatever you needed to become, to go through whatever challenge you had to face. See, the challenges are what makes us. As a tree, we all want to be trees. The Bible talks about how we're trees planted by the living water. So everyone sees a tree. It's so big, it's so tall, it's so strong, it's so wide, its branches are so... But a tree is only as strong as its roots grow. And it seems like everybody wants the growth showing on the outside, and they don't necessarily want to do the work to make the roots strong on the inside. So sometimes the reason we don't get noticed right away, we don't get success right away, we don't get the fame right away, or we don't get the good job opportunities right away, whatever it is that you're going for, we don't find the man of our dreams right away, we don't find this, is we're wanting the outside growth that people can see, but we're not going down deep enough in the roots. We have to grow just as much deep under the roots as we grow as the tree. So if you guys don't have strong roots, if a tree doesn't have strong roots, then when a storm comes, that tree can fall down or break in half or split. So you have to be just as concerned about growing your inner strength, growing your inner man, getting deep into your soul's purpose and your time with God and figuring out who you are. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to make it when you do reach that height. How many people do you know that you see are on top for a moment, but then something happens and they break and they shatter and they fall apart and it's a mess, and they didn't strengthen their roots. They didn't strengthen their inner person. So what is it that you can do? Like, what does that mean for you? When you hear me say that, what does that mean for you? Do you feel like the reason maybe you haven't grown to the outside is because you have more work to do on the inside? Because we have to get to the point where things that other people do or say doesn't faze us, doesn't shake us, doesn't upset us. If our son comes home and is angry and yelling and throwing things, we can't let that make us quiver, right? Whatever it is that you're going through, if someone cuts you off in traffic, if whatever is happening, if our roots are deep enough, we're not going to be shaken by that. We're going to be a tree planted by the living water, whose leaves will not wither, and whatever it does will prosper. We want to produce good fruit. We don't want to produce, So you can't produce good fruit in your life unless your roots are deep and strong and settled in. What are you guys getting out of this? What are you guys taking away from this? Has this made you think of anything going on in your life? Is there some places in your life where you feel like you've been shaken? Where you feel like you need to go deeper? Where you feel like your roots maybe aren't as deep as they should go? Galatians says, do you know when it says in Matthew 6:14, forgive others that trespass against you? Exactly. So what are you guys feeling like this means for you? Can you grow big and strong? If you haven't done your roots down deep, maybe. But how are you going to stand up to the storms? There's been a lot of famous people who've got to fame really quickly, but then they couldn't sustain it while they were there. They didn't have deep enough roots. Hey, Lena. Look at my cat. She says, I'm watching Dhar Mann, the single mom video, and I see you. Harrison says, right now I'm focusing on one place for a job. I might get a job. I apply for multiple. My siblings said, I'll never learn, but I learned. Okay, so was this helpful? Did you guys get a lot out of it? Are you going for your dreams now? Marcus says, Britney Spears going crazy because she had weak roots. So, Nicholas says, yes, definitely, many times. Is your goal really your goal, Miss Catherine? Exactly. Exactly. To help people. To help people, but to do it in the way that I want to do, right? Through acting, through writing, through poetry, through speaking, through coaching. Not to do it the way other people want me to do it. Pete says, get planted in the Word of God and let Him use me to grow the next generation of leaders that I work with alongside in a primary school. That sounds great. Jalation says, I want to be a Christian singer one day. Nicholas says, have a growth mindset. Via says, when people have artistic passion, society says that will be a hobby and that they are going to get a real job. But maybe, sometimes, not always, you can work your passion and your love into what you do with a job. Do you know what I mean? So, I have a friend who was, he worked at a church. Did like administrative stuff, but he also was an actor and director and loved doing plays. He was able to take his gift and passion for that and put on skits and plays at church and part of the sermons that helped drive home the message. So I'm not saying that no one will ever have to want to or need to get like a day job or a paycheck or something to sustain them, but I am saying you can use what you feel God has called you to do and gifted you with to make a difference, to fulfill you, to fuel your passion, to help others, to do it in a different way. So you'll be able to incorporate what you do well. Like my husband's in a day job and for a pharmaceutical company. It's not his favorite thing to do, but he loves to create, he loves to design. So he's had opportunities sometimes at work to design logos, to edit videos, to do stuff that's more in his wheelhouse. So he's been able at times to work that in. So guys, I am over time. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you got a lot out of it. We will see you next Sunday.